Speaking of tough, Jim Cantore of the Weather Channel, he travels all over and usually going to places that aren't very nice and joining us on short notice so he can give us his thoughts on the manliest states, weather-wise, that you've ever been to. Jim, thanks for joining us.
The manliest state? Okay.
Yeah, harshest weather. Like, you got to be a man to live here. What would be your top three?
Oh, dude, honestly, the worst weather is Chicago, dealing with the wind off the lake, because I was out doing live shots one time and, I didn't even notice until I walked back into the truck. I'm like, guys, look at I'm looking in this little mirror. Look at my nose. It's white. I got frostbite on my nose. I didn't even realize it. My cheeks were starting to turn white. So yeah, Chicago's got to be, that's got to get the wind, Dan.
Okay. What about rural areas?
Oh my God, the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I mean, they want to hang me. They hate it when I come out there to cover a hurricane because I am.
Yeah, but it's not your fault. You didn't bring the hurricane.
Dan, tell them that. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, when you were wheeling that axe earlier, I thought if they were going to do a remake for Fargo, I think you got it. I think you're a shoo-in, brother. Just throwing it out there.
Well, speaking of Fargo, where like the coldest temperatures, where you just got to, because I'm in Maine, and obviously I'm manly, but the coldest areas.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's really the Northeast. There's just something about that biting cold after a storm. I mean, one time we were in Massachusetts in March for a 35-degree snowstorm, and it was just like such a wet, gloppy snow, and it went inside all of my clothing. It was just like, I'm like hypothermic right now. I am absolutely, I have to stop doing shots or I'm going to freeze to death. So that was rough. When you get wet,
North Dakota's got to be up there.
What's that?
North Dakota's got to be up. North Dakota's got to be up.
North Dakota. You know what? For the record, that's the only place I have not been for the Weather Channel to do coverage. I've done every other state except North Dakota. So I got to get that before I leave this.
Okay. Well, you have Montana.
Montana.
Wyoming,
Yep.
Minnesota.
Wyoming did a thing at Yellowstone. Minnesota, Minneapolis, always cover snowstorms up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go around the room with who thinks Jim Cantore's ever been struck by lightning. Paulie, I'll go to you first.
I know
Jim Cantore of the Weather Channel.
I know he wants to. It'd be great for the brand, especially live TV. I don't think he has.
Okay. Todd, has Cantore been struck by lightning?
I think he's been mildly electrocuted by lightning, yes.
Seton, what do you think?
I'm going to say no.
I think.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. You're going to say no. Marvin?
No.
I'm going to say no. Jim, your answer.
If I have, I don't know it. Honest to God. I mean, I've been in thunder snow 6 different times with many different episodes of it. And that is something you actually can get struck during. Speaking of Maine, the only fatality that we have on record, Dan, is a young man in Maine. He was out sledding and he got thunder snow in the middle of a winter storm. So you can actually get struck by it, but I don't think that it's happened to me, to the best of my knowledge.
Delaware State is traveling to Hawaii, and they're talking about maybe a hurricane.
They're trying to. Problems, right?
Is there a hurricane on the way? Typhoons, or what kind of storm is headed towards Hawaii? Have you checked your live local late-breaking Doppler, super Doppler radar?
Dan, I don't spend a lot of time on the Pacific stuff, but I'll do this for you. Okay, no, we do. We've been on this for the last days. First of all, there's the area right there that we're looking at. Okay, that's the area. Here's Gilma behind that, and there's be another invest behind that. Okay, so here's what it looks like from a satellite perspective. So there's Hawaii. You see it?
Yeah.
This area that we're watching, there's actually 2 systems here that are going to come together, and this is what they could look like as they come toward Hawaii. So this is what they call a GFS model. Hopefully this is pointed right at it. So here's what it looks like. It's getting together maybe tomorrow, and then it's working its way to the west, and then boom, here we are 12's East Sunday, so that's Sunday morning. Let's just go back 6 hours. So this is about game time. It's pretty far away from Oahu's right there. That's where the game's going to be played, and where I have the plus mark. So it's pretty far away, but there'll be some wind. I think there'll be some wind here. But right now, the thing's got to come together and it's got to develop. And if it doesn't develop, it's not going to be much at all. Listen, here's the deal. Weather is the great equalizer. They need to play this game.
Thank you, Jim. Jim Cantore, meteorologist, Weather Channel. We'll follow him up with who you would expect. Noah Lyles, the fastest man in the world.